I can't imagine me putting on my golf. Me putting on my golf hat, golf shirt, and getting dressed to go out, and the kids are like, what are you doing? Like, mind your business. I'm like, oh, I'm going to play golf. And usually I invite them to go. They don't really like playing, so they like sit in a cart. But do you want to go, right? If I'm in my office, they come right into my computer, like, what are you working on? Oh, you're editing. And I don't like to answer dumb questions. So I'm a guy, like, even if you're a kid, you can ask a better question. So when they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, what do you think I'm doing? And so I'll just wait. They'll look at the computer. Oh, you're editing. Yeah, that's what this is. So I like for our kids to solve their own problems. Don't just come to me and ask a question. But what I'm saying is I don't not answer the question with the answer of like, mind your business. Yeah. I'm always like, because I got nothing to hide, like, well, what do you think I'm doing? And then if you're really, truly interested, let's talk about it. But if you're just doing small talk, then I don't have small talk for you, even if you're kids. Like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm editing. Oh, what are you editing? Oh, this is the video we did with the hide and seek. Yeah. Oh, how'd you do that thing? They ask questions sometimes. But I could never possibly conceive that I would say, mind your business and get out of here. For one, it'd be mean. Two, I'd be missing out on sharing these experiences with them.
But you know that is definitely how many people were raised.
Oh, I was raised that way. I mean, I was raised in an element of fear, I guess. Like, you might say to your mom, what are you doing? She'd say, mind your business. I wouldn't even bring it up because I lived in a house with a stepdad I didn't even talk to for 10 years. Like, people think I'm making this up sometimes. For 10 years, I said yes or no, sir. And that's it. I didn't like the man. He was not a good man. He was not nice to my mom. He was not nice to me. He was not a good man. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to talk to this person. I don't have to. And so he had strong dislike for me because I wouldn't, I wouldn't come to him. I wouldn't look for him. My sister would. My sister would try to have a relationship with him. And I'm just like, I'm just going to stay in my room. My point is that I never communicated. So finally I left around 18. And this is the sad part. I had such little emotional connection to this person. It was so easy for me to leave after 12 years living in the house and not think of him again. Because a lot of times, like, you want what you had, even if it was bad, because maybe there was love shared at some point. There was like emotion. There was like, whatever. Me and this fella, we never talked or really got to know each other. It was just like me in the house, like, disliking him. I never thought about it until now, but when I left around 18, I never saw him again. And I never desired, I never thought about it. I had dreams about him. It was like, how sad is that for him? Not for me, because I was a child. The children have the big end of the stick here because they're children and they're innocent, and it's our job to raise them. Yeah. It's our job to raise our children. And so if I don't do a good job of that, I mean, that's on me. He did not do a good job. The person who lived in the house, it was so easy for 12 years of my life for me just to walk away. I would think if I was him, I would be like, man, as an adult, this kid just like walked, he doesn't even look for me.
Yeah, but that's you thinking as you right now. If he is who you perceived him to be, he probably in the same realm was like, didn't even get it or didn't care. Like, you know what I mean? If he is who you perceived him to be, and I don't mean didn't care as in like, thought you were bad, but just wasn't capable of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into this person, but he was a complete narcissist and, emotionally abusive and very manipulative. And so he probably wasn't even capable. Narcissist and sociopath, they don't care about the feelings of other people. I do care about the feelings, especially of my kids. Like, I can't imagine growing up and not knowing their childhood or like having this connection of like, I think at some point we're going to be even way closer because of the times when they walk into my office and they say, what are you working on? I'm like, well, I'm working on this. Talk about it? Oh, and Jersey sits in my lap. He sits in there and like we do a little thing.
Yep, no, for sure. Yeah, it's a completely, I even want to say 360 from how we were raised, which I think it's great. But it also sometimes, like, I guess makes me hesitant, not because I want to raise them the way I was raised, but sometimes I have to think in order to go the opposite direction of what was said to me. Because there are some things where, like, sometimes I'll be in my phone doing something and just come and jump on the phone. And I always tell them, not even that, I don't want you to know, it's respect. Like, you don't just go and jump and look over somebody's shoulder with their phone, especially an adult, unless they invite you to come and look.
I don't.
You do that too, Justin. I've seen you do that.
No. I don't do it in the same way. I do it in the way because I just don't want to talk about what I'm looking at with a child. That's all. I don't care that you see it. I don't really care.
No, I'm not even saying about seeing it or not. I'm saying they'll sit there like it's their business to be. And I said, especially, it's one thing to be doing it with us, but this means they're doing it. I see them. A friend of mine will come over and they'll be like, I'm like, you don't do that.
Well,
like, it's a more of a respectful thing. Like, you just don't do that. This is an adult's phone. They're doing, like, you don't come and just, you don't do that.
I mean, I think most people would agree with you on that. I disagree in that I feel that they can do that with us, but we just need to teach. They're smart kids. Like, if you believe in your kids and you believe that they're smart, they can discern. They can be like, okay, mom and dad, I'm closer to them, so I can ask them what they're doing on the iPad. But this person over here, I can't.
No, asking is not that. I'm just want them asking. They ask what I'm doing. I just be like, sure, whatever. Right. But it's this is my phone. And I'm like, what are you doing?
But the thing is I think we think they are interested in one thing. They're just curious what mom and dad's doing. They're just like, they're 8-year-old and they're 3-year-olds, and they're just really influenced by us. So they're just like wondering, what big kid activity are they doing that I'm missing out on? Yeah. We're normally reading the news or something like that, and they're like, what is this thing that I might be able to do one day? I think that's why I let them do it, or I don't care, because it's like they're not being nosy as much as I think they just want to be included in something.